This is the 26th of May, almost June. And because it's the 26th of May, woohoo, it's an interesting year because a week from now, half of the year is over. And what an eventful year it has been. We got the president talking about Mr. Putin, saying that he's very disappointed in Mr. Putin, that he's dropping bombs on cities and killing people. Lord have mercy. The president is disappointed that a country is dropping bombs on cities and killing people. Man, hey, Yemenis, no, that wasn't meant for y'all. Palestinians, no, that wasn't meant for y'all neither. No, y'all not part of the conversation. No, he's disappointed at Putin, not the United States or Israel. No, just Putin. I apologize, I digress. It is the hypocrisy of politics and politicians. Don't you don't you guys get it? Nobody else is going to pick up on it. I mean, they're going to recognize one side, but they're not going to recognize Yemen. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't agree with bombing nobody. I mean, Yemenis has blown up ships. Yeah. I know that's all they had. They sent bombs into Israel. Yeah. But the problem is still aiming to hurt people. And then Israel just AI technology blowing up an area to clear it so that they can build. Yeah, now they can take the land, not the homes, the land. They don't want those houses and those buildings. No, they want to clear the land. They claim it's divine providence, I guess. Oh, but if it was divine providence, what God would sanction their conduct? Well, he did it in the past. Who? Wait, you're saying Jehovah operated that way in the past? Go ahead, show me one incident where Jehovah has operated the way Israel has operated. Jericho? Oh no, he let the walls fall down on them. He gave them a chance. He warned them, gave them a chance. Well, Israel warned the Palestinians, sure did, and then blocked them in so they couldn't get out. So again, show me where the true God has ever acted like that. So even with, pay attention, Jericho, Rahab was allowed to survive. She wasn't made a slave. What, y'all didn't know? That's where David's grandfather came from. Rahab was King David's grandmother. Well, great grandmother, sorry. Yeah, I know. We never took into consideration that type of stuff. No. The cities and the places that were destroyed, this was after they received warning. When Joshua went into the promised land, so to speak, each one of those nations fought back. But what about the Gibeonites? The Gibeonites proved to be quite shrewd. They went, even though they pretended, they worked out a treaty where they got not only to be inseminated into the Israelites as, proselytes, but they got to survive. So, no, he's never operated that way, ever. Despite what well, see, people read only half of the scriptures. They don't get the whole story because they're too busy going to YouTube getting answers. Look, I have this one person that I know that when this person comments, you can tell that they're getting most of their stuff from listening to YouTube videos. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not where you come to get information. YouTube is not a source for information. YouTube is a source for you to get inspired to do research. That's why I tell you to do your own research. Go and search the history. You see, the one thing about Jehovah that's different about these other gods that you hear about is he always gives warnings. He always gives people an opportunity to change. But we keep forgetting there is no other God who claims to be the creator of mankind. Go ahead. Go ahead. He was the first, no other God, who claims to be the creator of mankind. The Adam and Eve story only exists in the scriptures. Yeah, I said story, but the only fact is we know that we originated from someplace. There had to be an original two in order to make three, in order to make six, in order to make 12, in order to make 100, in order to make 100,000, in order to make 100 million, in order to make a 8.5 billion. There had to be an original two. You get it from the egg and the sperm. They create a cell. That cell divides and divides and divides and divides. It's giving you human history. What, you thought that that was just a coincidence that there is an egg that's created with the joining of the sperm and the egg called a cell, and that cell divides and divides and divides and divides, and because of that, imagine that if you only understood the reason why man was allowed to discover that. They didn't have that discovery back in the so-called 1500s, 1300s, 1400s. No, they had to wait until they got telescopes to discover that divisive split, change, and multiplication exponentially. Well, it's just like a virus. Imagine that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I was listening to a song, and it's called In All Honesty. So I figured before I end this video, I'll explain In All Honesty to you guys. Give me 1 second. I have to go to my phone because it's my phone. And it's not like a spy phone. It's my phone. It's not like a B phone or a C phone or a D phone, but it's a E phone. Okay, and because it's an E phone, whoo-wee, uh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm looking for it in all honesty, but I got all of my 99 plus songs on here, and I have to do a search for it. That's a shame that I got to search for my own song. Give me 1 second. Honesty. Stop listening. Uh-oh. It didn't even find the word honesty. Now that is a shame. Y'all hold on. Just 1 second. Sorry, that's why I messed up. It's not in all honesty. In all honesty is the alarm that came on this morning. That's my Monday alarm, is in all honesty. No, this is the this is the song. Sometimes I feel, sometimes I feel like I'm the only. Know the song? Sometimes I feel, sometimes I feel like I'm the only one. See, hold on. There was a person who told me that they liked what I did. They liked my videos. They liked how I produced my videos. They liked the personality. And okay, it wasn't a sexual thing. He wasn't talking about liking me sexually or anything like that. Just liked my videos, liked the personality. I get those emails quite a bit. Even people who I do consultations with saying the same thing. No big deal. There's nothing wrong with that. So that's the beginning of the song. In a sexual way. Not in a sexual way. It's like the things that I do and say. See? True story. Hold on now. See, I ain't the only one who feels like this. But hold on. Notice what happened next. I just had somebody tell me that they gave me a donation, said it was for a moment of my time. They told them, hey, the system doesn't work that way. Wait, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. They said, I gave you a donation. I gave you a donation. Ladies and gentlemen, there was a gentleman who I had a lot of respect for, older gentleman, former military, and he had asked me for my help with a mortgage issue, and we became friends, actually. He's the one who asked me to put up the donation button, and I told him I would. He told me it wasn't fair that I'm doing all of this work and not at least giving people an opportunity to say thank you. So I did that. And that mother just ghosted me. Stop talking, stop communicating. Don't know the reason why. I didn't do anything to the person. Didn't say anything wrong. At least I don't believe so. Just one day, did not return calls, did not answer calls. And so I basically told him, okay, I get the message. You won't hear from me again. Now, I'm doing this video to say this. If I mention an experience, I don't mention names. So stop taking it personal, you stupid, ignorant mother. If I'm not mentioning your stupid name, then it ain't about you. Don't you guys remember the song, It's Not About You? I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to her, but I'm talking to them. So let me talk to my people and you mind your own business. Stop thinking that somebody's talking about you. Okay, really, it's just that simple. I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to reveal confidential information. Jehovah doesn't permit that. I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses. So I will never tell you what another person did. There's a person that tried to hurt me, and that person doesn't realize that I have a ton of information to destroy them. Jehovah won't let me do that. I mean, literally destroy them. But I'm not going to. Plus, I lose Jehovah's blessings if I do something stupid like that. I don't do the personal stuff. It ain't ever personal. What I'm trying to say is people have gone out of their way to bring their personalities into my life. I don't give up about your personality. I could care less about your personality. Your personality doesn't run my life. I'm not here to tiptoe around your personality. When you communicate with me, you understand this is who you're communicating with. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. If you say something wrong, I'm going to point out, hey, if you do something wrong, I'm going to point that out. Had an individual do a consultation with me, I asked him to explain the story, and he explained the story in the best light that made him look like he was the angel. So I told him, and I was very specific. I said, you don't understand, I've been doing this for over 40 years. And I've been dealing with the courts for over 40 years. I know exactly what happened. And he said, oh, you read my paperwork? I said, no, I don't read paperwork. The consultation is not designed for me to read your paperwork. I don't read nobody's paperwork. That's not how a consultation works. I don't care about your paperwork. I care about consulting you on what you need, what you should, what would be beneficial for you to get out of a situation, to correct a situation, to improve a situation. I told him, I know exactly the conversation that happened. I know exactly what your response would have been, and I know exactly what their response is because that's why you're going through what you're going through. They are retaliating because you did whatever. And you retaliated because you wanted to let them know that they didn't have the right to do that, and they are winning because you don't know what to do next. You hadn't planned that far ahead. I said, I know what happened because I've been through it. So I spent 4 hours preparing petitions for him to the court, correcting the court's ignorance, highlighting where the court went wrong, highlighting where the court deliberately did something. Look, the court issued a cash bond for one individual. And then at the same time, the court said, we're going to appoint an attorney for you. Wait a minute, what do you mean? You're going to give the person a cash bond? A cash bond of $5,000, and then you're going to appoint an attorney for them? Well, the only reason why you're appointing an attorney is because, pay attention, they're indigent, which means they can't afford the cash bond, which makes it an excessive bond. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how stupid the courts are. The only problem is attorneys would never catch that. Why? Because attorneys don't think this way. So I'm going after the judge for the excessive bond in another case because that's what they do. You cannot give someone a bond and then appoint an attorney for them and then claim the bond is not excessive. Pay attention. Y'all need to start understanding the logic of the system and go after them for excessive bonds. You see, it's only to assure your presence. P. Diddy, his attorney should have gone after the court for that. He was willing to put up a $46 million bond, and the court said no. What the? He's a billionaire. Even the so-called Bankman Fried was able to post bond. You see, when you get arrested, it's only an allegation. It's not a charge of reality. There is no evidence on the record. It's just a presumption. You guys have got to stop letting them treat you as if you're criminals, as if you're already convicted, as if you did the crime. For the court to presume you've done the crime, and they cannot. Because remember, you're supposed to be presumed innocent. Y'all need to start attacking this bail stuff. Stop going with the norm the way it's been for years. Stop doing that. Stop doing it. So getting back to the other gentleman who I told I understood exactly what was going on, we put together a couple of petitions for him, and there are two of these individuals. One of them, they're in there because of their own lack of knowledge of the courts. And the other one is there because the court decided to do the cash bond because they were angry at the person. And so did a habeas corpus for both of them. The habeas corpus is just a procedural thing. We also took care of the other petitions. Oh, by the way, we did a suspension of power of attorney because in both matters, the court appointed an attorney. Well, if you got an attorney appointed, pay attention. You can't file anything on the record because you're represented by an attorney. So we put on the record the information where the attorney is not listening to the client. In both cases, the client is saying, hey, I need a bail reduction hearing so we can bring this up. And the attorney is ignoring them. One of the attorneys is not even returning calls. So I had to put on the record, hey, we're suspending that power of attorney. And that idiot probably has the wrong information. He thinks he's an officer of the court. He thinks he owes his first duty to the court. His first duty ain't to the court. His first duty is to the law. F the court. You want to talk about he's supposed to zealously do this and zealously do that. Well, if he has to do things honestly and uncorruptly, then his duty ain't to the court. His duty is to the law. Ethically and morally, his duty is to the law. He's to follow the law. So forget that first duty to the stupid court. And we challenge that. We challenge that principle. We challenge that policy as unconstitutional. He is an agent. He is an agent. He is not an officer of the court. He was never an officer of the court. That's a conflict of interest. Y'all got to start challenging that stuff. But hold on, let's get back to my sometimes. See, I told them you just cost me several times because I have to refund your money, and I get charged for the transaction both ways. So when you sent me that donation, I have to now pay for receiving it. And then when I returned it to you, I got to pay again. So I'm the one who lost. Why? Watch this. I told them that stuff would be refunded, that I didn't appreciate the dumbness. They said I wasn't being dumb. I was doing it out of the kindness of my heart. Your site says donations, and I was just following the instructions. So since when does a donation say that you're paying for me to do a partial consultation? Huh? Anybody? He says he was following instructions. Go ahead. The instructions are at the bottom of every video. Go ahead. He was following instructions. Your site says donation. I was just following instructions. I was doing it out of the kindness of my heart. Really? You were doing it out of the kindness of your heart, expecting something in return. So that's kindness coming from your heart. So you just told on yourself. You just showed what your heart condition is like. Is what I was saying. So I had to block him. But y'all don't know who he is, do you? I never told anybody any names. Yeah, I know he probably got butthurt because I put that in a song, but it's a real song. And I love Sometimes I Feel because I know I ain't the only one. Okay? I know I'm not the only one, y'all. So hold on. Sometimes I feel like I'm the only one. Sometimes I feel, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes I feel like I'm the only one. I told the person I didn't learn English just yesterday. I didn't just start doing this yesterday. I didn't learn English comprehension just to see when it says donation, pay attention. Go back and read your own words. Now I'm going to block this person. See, ladies and gentlemen, what I was saying, go back and read your own words. You just told on yourself. You said I was doing it out of the kindness of my heart. Your site says donation, and I was just following instructions. You just showed that you don't know how to follow instructions. You just showed that there was an ulterior motive. And he couldn't even see it. I said I didn't appreciate the dumbness after he wrote me that. So because he kept going back and forth with me, I got to block you because you don't know how to let it go. Teddy Pendergrass told y'all to let it go. He was supposed to just let it go. I'd already refunded his money. There's no reason for him to try to make himself look good. See, that's the problem with men and some women. They don't want to see themselves in a bad light. They want to think of themselves as I'm incapable of doing wrong. I would never do another person wrong. I would always be the honorable person, not knowing that they know themselves. They know exactly what they're capable of. Ladies and gentlemen, we're all capable of stupidity. So stop making it look like you are not capable of doing anything wrong. I've been wanting to get that off my chest for a while. Now, look, I got a consult in 10 minutes, so I got to let y'all go because I got to get focused on that. But I wanted to take this time most definitely to talk about this because I have quite a few people talking about me being negative or saying what they don't like about me. Look, let me explain something to all of you. I don't care what you don't like about me. I'm not here to be liked by you. This is not no stupid elementary school. Class? No, class. Okay, that's okay. Work. Okay, what do you? No. This is your time to talk. Hold on. Y'all listen to him. He's gonna talk. He's gonna explain to the class what does he like about himself. Okay, what is it you like about yourself? Really? You think that about yourself? Okay, no, it's no, stop laughing at him. That's the way he thinks of himself, and y'all gonna get a chance to do the same thing. So don't laugh at him, cause somebody gonna laugh at you. Okay, now go sit down. Yeah. He's an idiot. Okay, next student. Okay, what you think about yourself? Oh really? Oh really? Nothing wrong? You can't. No, you can't do. Oh, never lie. Oh. Host, you are perfect. Oh, that's a perfect. Oh, stop laughing at her. Okay, y'all stop laughing at her. That's a good story. You go right ahead and you put that in writing, okay? Yeah, posterity. You put that in writing for posterity purposes. Now go sit back down. Everybody wants to look at themselves as if they can do no wrong. There are only a few people out there who recognizes their imperfections and try to improve on their imperfections. Now, if you're not understanding this, then you're not one of them. If you walk through life without a single regret, then there is something wrong with you. You are perfect. You can look at that mirror and not see any flaws and walk away as if it was a new day. Go talk to James. Yeah, James, book of the Bible. Go talk to James. He'll tell you about that mirror. I know. Don't go talk to no Justin Timberlake about no mirror. Stop that. All right, now, y'all, y'all go have a nice day. I hope some of you think about who you are, as opposed to always talking about who someone else is and what your opinion of them is. Your opinion doesn't matter. And once you realize your opinion doesn't matter, well, I got the right to have my own opinion. You can have whatever right you want. But just because you have an opinion doesn't mean your opinion matters. Nobody cares about your opinion. There's only one person who cares about your, well, two, and the other one is just doing it because they think they have to. But you and perhaps your spouse, other than that, your opinion doesn't matter. Keep it to yourself, and life will be a whole lot better for you because now you won't get your feelings hurt. People don't care about your opinion. They don't care about my opinion. They only care about the information I give. Don't get me wrong. I understand that. That's why I give you guys information more than I do my opinion. Go ahead. Go look at when I gave my opinion. Look at how often that happens. You'll hear me make the statement. I don't usually give my opinion. Ta-da! But you give your opinion all the time. No, I don't. I'm just talking. I'm not giving an opinion. For instance, I don't care anything about politics. I don't care about Trump. I don't care about Putin. I think they're both pieces of, excuse me, had something caught in my larynx. Couldn't even get that out. I don't care about Democrats. I don't care about Republicans. Okay? I don't care. It doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't matter to me. They can't affect me personally. And when they do affect me personally, then I'll start caring about that effect, but not about them. I'm so glad we were able to get that off your chest. I mean, my chest. I mean, their chest. I mean, everybody's chest has got something they need to get off. All right. Do you see that button up there? It says 54. I got 6 minutes to get prepared. So thank y'all for joining me this day. And hopefully you have a better perspective of things, even of yourselves. If you don't, then you shouldn't have been listening to this one. All right. Y'all got to take care. Goodbye.